Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are talking about Xbox Series S again. So, I hear a lot of people saying that Xbox Series S is trash and that why waste your money on it, because you can just spend $200 more and get the Xbox Series X, or you can spend $100 more and get the PlayStation 5 digital version. I hear that a lot. Like, I really do. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I want to kind of give you my thoughts on why that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life. So, if you look at the Xbox Series X or Series S, it is specifically designed for 1080p to 1440p resolution. So, that means if you buy a 1440p monitor like I got, or you still in fact have a 1080p TV. Me personally, I feel like 1080p TV is just like not really the best way to go. But let's look at this from a gamer point of view. Okay, so you've got an Xbox, One. Like a base Xbox One. You don't have the money to go out and run out and buy a 4K TV. And then invest that money for the Xbox Series X, which is another $500 on top of that. Not to mention that those upgraded systems are a little bit harder to get. Like they are. So what Microsoft has done by designing the Xbox Series S is not only does it enhance the collection of games you already have on your native resolution screen. Say you're still rocking a 1080p TV. Well, a lot of these games now have FPS boost. Right now is what we are looking at as is here, let me adjust this brightness a little bit. let me adjust this brightness so that we can see a little bit, because it does look a little bit dark on this as well. So we'll go about 50. Yeah, we'll go about 50 and see how that looks. Okay, definitely a little bit brighter. Okay, so this is a game that came out early in the Xbox One life generation, okay? So now when you look at this game, because Xbox Series S does in fact have 16x anastrophic filtering. So right there, you're already getting better looking textures. Like, all the textures look far better than they ever did on Xbox One. Not only that, you get to play this game at 60 frames a second now. A nice, smooth 60 frames a second. So therefore, you're already getting a fairly sizable upgrade for this game that you already know and love, and that you have and that you own. And let's face it, this game here is definitely a game that you can in fact play for hundreds of hours. Like, you can get a lot of time into these Dragon Age games. Automatically, you're getting a better resolution. Now, because I do in fact have an HDR capable display, I am getting auto HDR with this game as well. You can already see the character model looks better. You can see the NPCs look better. The vegetation looks better. The rock faces over here, that looks better. The ground texture detail looks better. Everything looks better. But yes, this is still running at its native 900p or whatever it was, 900p to 1080p dynamic resolution or whatnot. But you're getting an extremely decent presentation if you're playing this on a native resolution screen. Now, I have tried to play this on a 4K TV, and let's be honest, man, like 900p does not upscale very well to a 4K TV. I don't really care how good your upscaler in your Xbox or your TV is. It does not give you the best upscaling out there. Now, this game here does happen to look better in enclosed areas, like back in that keep or whatever. On Series X running on the 4K TV, it does look pretty good if you set your resolution down to 1080p on that. It actually does bring out, a lot of the detail and stuff, and then you just let your TV do the rest of the upscaling. In here, it looks pretty good. on the bigger TV, but out here it kind of falls apart a lot more, especially in the vegetation. So when I say like last night during my live stream, when I say that Xbox Series S is the best available next gen console, in a way I kind of do mean that. Like I do mean that. This is the best console available at the moment. If you're coming from a last gen console like this is definitely a major upgrade to what you get. So if you look at the visuals of this game, like they look so much better now. Like it looks like you could actually play this again and enjoy this. So I'm playing on 1440p, so yeah, dude, I mean, like the resolution doesn't look as sharp and as clean as it should, but this is pretty convincing, to be completely honest with you. The 16x anastrophic filtering, it brings this environment to life like I've never seen before. When I played this game natively on my PlayStation 4 when it first came out. I played this game on PlayStation 4. It was really good. I've since I mean you can download this on Game Pass and play this. And I'm getting a much better image quality, a much better experience on this now that it's running at 60 frames a second. My PlayStation 4 version doesn't run at 60 frames a second. It runs at 30 frames. This is completely like getting a wholly new remastered version of this game, which is best played on Xbox Series S. So now that we've established that this game looks amazing, let's go back to the home. Let's just go back to home, and we'll go in here, and then we'll come down here. So all of these games right here, XS, these definitely receive the higher treatment, the higher fidelity visuals. All of that stuff comes with all of these games. I'll show you one of those to close out this video. But as you can see, every single one of these games right here, every single one of them that are Xbox One games, a lot of them are going to have upgraded to 60 FPS. Some of them are going to be at 120 FPS. Some of these games are going to... let's check out Far Cry 5. This game takes a minute to load. That's why I was kind of hesitant. But we'll load it up. We'll look at it. And then we'll decide how much better this is. Because I have not checked this out on the Series S yet. I have checked it out on the Xbox One X, and it did get a 60 FPS patch. So I'm kind of wondering if that actually... came over to this version as well. I think it did. I think any of the ones that don't get like the resolution boost or whatever, and they just get the Xbox Series boost mode or whatever, I believe they do get the 60 FPS on the Series S as well. So if that's the case, you get to play this game at a native resolution at 60 frames a second. So that is going to increase it's going to greatly enhance your experience while playing on the Xbox Series S. I highly recommend a 1440p monitor. Since I've gotten this 1440p monitor and I've been able to play this, not only have I been able to go back to games that were originally released on Xbox, throughout the Xbox One generation up till the X, I get to play those games and they look amazing now. A lot of them do feature, auto HDR, so they look better. They feel better than they've ever felt before. And let's face it, last generation, we got a lot of decent games. Finally, we were starting to get better physics, so games felt better to play. We were starting to get better animations, so games looked better when you played them. Like, this looks freaking phenomenal right now. This looks so beautiful that it's not even funny. Like, that looks really, really clean. These visuals are looking really, really clean on this Dunia engine. Dunia is pretty freaking. I'm pretty impressed with what we get on Xbox Series X with Far Cry 6. So this is actually pretty good, to be completely honest with you. Oh wow. If this looks like this, your other Xbox console is taking too long. Sync last save data. Don't really care if it's taking forever. Sorry, other one's taking too long. So we'll just go back to whatever save I was at before that. So This might be a little bit longer video because we're going to check out some of these, a couple of these games. This is probably the longest one to load. This one takes forever to load on like last gen consoles. Now all of these are on my my spinning hard drive, so yeah, if we're getting a little bit sluggish, you know, I mean, like loading speeds are definitely a little bit faster, but wow, that looks so clean right there. It's not even funny. That looks pretty dang clean in these loading screens. I wonder if this does in fact have. We'll go to the manage thing and see why we're loading that. Yep, FPS boost. And it doesn't need the auto HDR because it already has HDR support. So you're getting HDR support on a native 1440p monitor. You're getting FPS boost, so you're going to be able to run this game at 60 frames a second, and you're getting 16x anastrophic filtering, which is going to make the textures look even better than they did before when you played this game the first time. The power of this next gen console to be able to deliver these enhanced backward compatible enhancements that will enhance your experience are freaking phenomenal. For $300, yeah, this holds up actually pretty well. I mean, you got some blur right here, like, oh boy, probably just needs to load in a little bit. Let's see if we walk back here. Okay. But for the most part, look at this. Still getting all your vegetation. Yeah, I bet if this was on my internal hard drive, all of this stuff would be loaded just as quick. So yeah, now you get to play this game at 60 frames a second, and this looks really, really good. Actually, it looks really clean. It looks really, really detailed. Like that tree looks great. Look at that texture in that tree. The texture in the ground. And that's what I'm talking about. Like you automatically receive these upgrades just buying the console. Just buying the console and then putting your old games in there, you get an upgraded experience. And if you're coming from PlayStation over to this Xbox and you have a Game Pass subscription, like you've already got an instant freaking catalog of games, an instant library of games that you can just start playing. I mean, up here, yeah, this actually holds up pretty well. Look at all that vegetation, man. Like, this game already looked beautiful last gen. Like, this was one of those really beautiful games when it launched. I mean, the realism of the way this game looks is just unbelievable. And this is Far Cry 5, man. Like, this game's a little bit older now. I mean, we've all seen Far Cry 6, just how amazing that game looks, but wow, to see how beautiful this is in motion at 60 frames a second now. Like, this is great. This is a whole new way, a whole brand new experience to be able to really take advantage of a next gen console like this. Like, your PlayStation 5 doesn't do this. Like, no, it doesn't. It does do like backward compatibility and stuff, but I mean, let's face it, you're not going to buy a PlayStation 5 and stick it on a 1080p TV just to get an experience like this, albeit still at 30 frames a second. You're not getting 60 frames a second on that. PlayStation's not going out of their way to try to upgrade third-party games for to enhance your experience. No, they're not doing that. But they are for your Series S, and let's face it, you are more likely to run a Series S on a 1080p TV or a 1440p monitor than you are to try to run this on a 4K TV. Now I have played this on my Series X in the 1080p mode, and it looks super fuzzy. Where this looks super clean, this looks really good. Ooh, something's over there making noise. This is literally beautiful, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I say that this Xbox Series S literally blows my freaking mind every single day. A lot of that is due to me having the 1440p monitor. Like, I completely admit that, because on the 4K TV, I had mixed feelings. I mean, some games looked really, really good as long as they were 1440p, but 1080p games and lower, they weren't really giving me that experience that I wanted. But this right here, yeah, 60 frames a second, a lot closer to a native resolution on this screen, being able to get 16x anastrophic filtering. So look at these textures on this stuff. Like, this looks good. And now that the hard drive is actually caught up and I'm moving around in the world, I'm not getting a whole lot of pop-in anymore. I'm getting a pretty decent stable image. Now, like with Ubisoft games, when you are running toward the ground, you can always see them kind of bubbling up and stuff, and I'm really not seeing that much on here with the tessellation popping into focus. Like, look at this texture right here. Like, this texture looks freaking great. Like, this game holds up extremely well on the Xbox Series S. I mean, look down there, dude. I can see down there. I can see it. It looks pretty clear. Like, this looks really, really good, to be completely honest with you. So, is what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of this right here. Like, this is Far Cry 6 running at 60 frames a second on your Xbox Series S. All right, let's get out of this game. You know what? We'll leave that one in quick resume, and maybe we'll come back to it and look at it in a second. So, all right, so we've got that one in quick resume. We're going to look at a couple more of these older games, like these older, well, they're not necessarily older titles, because a lot of these do have Xbox One X enhancements. But let's be completely honest right here. You don't get those enhancements on. I wonder if this one here will run at 60 frames a second. This one might have a hard lock on it. Actually, let's look at that. Okay, so it doesn't have FPS boost. But let's see how this happens to look on the Series S, man. I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, like, if you own this game and it's in your catalog, you want to know, how does it run on the Xbox Series S? Like, we'll find out. Like, I love this game. This is one of my favorite games. One of my favorite games of last generation. Once I got into it, like, wow, this game is freaking pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. If you don't have Monster Hunter, I highly recommend picking this game up. But I'm curious to see if this thing is running at unlocked frame rate, because I know it runs unlocked on Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. So when you're playing this on Series X, you are definitely getting like a 60 frames a second with a higher resolution. But I've yet to try it on the Xbox One. So right now I can already tell you, image quality is looking pretty good. I'm definitely happy with that. Yeah, character looks pretty freaking smooth. Them animations are looking pretty decent too. They look smooth. I wonder if this is actually going to have a 60 FPS on this. That would be extremely good if it does, but I'm not counting on it. But I would love to see that be a possibility. Maybe Capcom went in there and unlocked the frame rate to see if it would run on this, because this is obviously running at 1080p. I mean, that's pretty clear. But look at all the detail. Look at all the texture work inside my character's outfit here. Like, that looks pretty good. Like, you're getting... Oh, come on. I just want to get into the game. I don't care about the searching. All right, here we go. Now we're getting in. So this game, at least this game's not like super long loading or whatever. Like, that's pretty decent. So I do have the Iceborne DLC for this game. I haven't yet beat it yet, but it is fun. I like to go back and play around with it every once in a while. The fact that you're getting this much... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, boy. This is feeling pretty smooth, actually. Huh. Like, this looks great too. Yep, you are getting a better texture resolution. If this is 30 frame, like, look at this. That might actually be running at 60 frames a second. Or it's like a really, really smooth 30 frames a second. Depart on an expedition. So let's go to Hoarfrost Reach. Yep. Play this just for a second. You know, kind of see, because this is feeling pretty smooth. I want to play around with it in the combat. Because this feels pretty good, to be completely honest with you. I'm getting pretty decent movement out of that. That feels pretty dang good. I would be curious to find out if this is actual 60 FPS or not, though. I'll probably have to try to run it side by side with Series X and see how that feels. Because I haven't played this for a little while, so I want to get that out and see how that feels on this game. Like, this feels freaking really smooth, actually. This feels pretty dang smooth. Like, I'm playing on my wow, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, man, look at that guy. He's over there. Let's go fight him. Like, we're actually getting really, really decent. Yeah, this feels good. Oh. I forgot how to play this, man. It's been a while. Yeah, you're still getting all the ground deformation. Oh, he's gonna destroy me. Oh, all right, we're getting out of here before we get dead. Before we get dead. Yeah, look at that. I mean, I got good movement. Like, it feels smooth. Doesn't feel all jerky or jittery like 30 FPS would. Ooh, we're done. Oh, no, we're not done. This guy saved me. He saved me. He saved me. Ah. Yeah, like, this is pretty great. We're definitely we're definitely getting decent quality with that. I'm definitely gonna have to check back on that one to see if that's 60 frames, but it feels really smooth. Yeah, this is one heck of a system for $300. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish this off with one of my personal favorites, Assassin's Creed Unity. The way this game looks and feels on this console is phenomenal. Like, I'm so happy with this that I can go back and I can now play this game at 60 frames a second, 1080p resolution with 16x anisotropic filtering. This game looks amazing. It looks better and feels better than it did when it first came out. So, I mean, that alone is like, wow, man. And the fact that the Series S can run that just speaks volumes to the... Like, I know that I'm getting a little nerdy about this. Like, I get that. I get that I'm getting a little nerdy about the fact that I can run this at 1080p at 60 frames a second. Like, I get that. But some people don't have the ability to go out and get this $1,300 TV. to buy that $500 Xbox. They might just have a 60 FPS TV that doesn't even do HDR. But what they are going to get, they're still going to get 60 FPS. They're still going to get anisotropic filtering. They might not get auto HDR like I can get on this, but their experience is going to be much better than anything that they would be able to play on any last-gen console. Yeah, because let's face it, the FPS boosts aren't getting FPS boosted on Xbox One X. That they're not getting that. Even if they have an Xbox One X, they're not getting that. But chances are, if they have an Xbox One X, they were able to get a 4K TV, because that just wouldn't have made any sense to be buying that for a 1080p TV either. My highest recommendation is obviously get a 1440p monitor with your Series S, because you're gonna have one heck of an adventure. Like, look at this. Look at this. The ground looks great. The textures look fine. The people look great. The draw distance looks pretty decent. The motion, like, look at this. 60 freaking frames a second on Assassin's Creed Unity. A game that was so buggy when it launched that people were just so mad about this. I wasn't mad about it. I mean, I play these games for so long that it didn't matter. By the time I was done playing it had gotten patched and fixed and all of that stuff. But look at this. Look at the freaking beauty of this game now. You could play this game, and it's beautiful. It looks beautiful like it used to when it first came out. Look at all the texture in the ground. Look at the ground. Look at how beautiful that looks. You keep following it all the way out. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. Over here, ground looks beautiful, man. These are some of the best looking games in the This is my favorite Assassin's Creed game from the old style before the new games come out. This is it. This is the one that, like, really, I freaking loved playing this. And now playing this at 60 frames a second, doing parkour is even much, much better than it ever was before. The fact that you can down freaking parkour, like, this is great. Parkour on this feels so much better now that you can actually have control of your freaking character. This is great. A lot more smooth. A lot more freaking just everything about this is great. It feels better. I'm not having any problems playing this. This feels smooth. This feels like a new gen game in terms of performance. Like, this is phenomenal. Being able to play Assassin's Creed at 60 frames a second is a wonderful experience. Not only that, you're getting the very first Assassin's Creed at 60 frames a second, which is literally phenomenal. Like, your PlayStation's not doing that. I'm sorry, but your PlayStation is not doing that. So the fact that Xbox puts this out and gives you the ability to enjoy games that you know that you love without having to pay for a freaking $10 upgrade just to enjoy the new features of your console. Like, yeah, dude, that is valuable. That is valuable. All the NPCs down there playing this game at 60 frames a second. Look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame looks freaking beautiful. Freaking beautiful. You get to relive this memory, this version of Assassin's Creed when it was at its peak. They launched this game buggy, and it did. It affected a lot of people. But to go back and actually see this now and play this, not only this, but Assassin's Creed Syndicate looks pretty good. I wish we could get the 60 FPS patch for that, and that's more likely than not after seeing this one get it. So, yeah, my hopes and aspirations for Xbox this generation are, yeah, come on, guys. Keep moving forward. Keep doing this for the gamers, because it really does matter to us. It might not matter to some gamers, but to me, this matters. This matters. I spend a lot of money on these games when they come out. I buy them when they come out, the day they come out. So when I get something like this that makes this game something that I love to play, even that much better, I just cannot freaking thank Xbox enough for taking the time to engineer such an amazing console. And when I hear people call the Xbox Series S trash, yeah, it really does kind of hit home with me. It really does make me feel like, wow, guys, you don't even understand the stuff they went through to build this console, to be able to upgrade your games for free, to give you a better experience on stuff that you already bought. That doesn't make sense to me, man. I don't understand how somebody can call that trash for making a console that's affordable for people that just cannot afford to get the very best. Like this is great. Like, I do applaud Microsoft and Xbox for doing this. All the way back to ground level. This is probably the best freaking Assassin's Creed to date. And if you got an Xbox Series S or X, go back and play this game. This is amazing. You get 60 FPS, you get auto HDR, you get higher resolution textures because of the 16x anisotropic filtering. And if you want the ultimate experience, buy this game buy yourself a 1440p monitor. So that's basically my video today. These are all older titles that I was showing you. Stuff that's only been out for, stuff that's been out, for a while. Stuff that didn't get, stuff that's not upgraded. So, yeah. If you get a chance, replay this game. Come back to it. Check it out. The world design and everything in here is just so beautiful and so fun. And the story in this game was pretty freaking great, to be completely honest with you. The French Revolution was pretty freaking cool. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And, man, I will see you in the next one. We will do more of these Xbox Series S videos, about 30 minutes long or whatever. Just kind of, you can hear my thoughts and hear what I'm thinking about, Series S, and, some of the things that are just amazing to me that really stand out. We'll be doing more of these. So, like I said, if you like this, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.